What's up, my friends? Chrissy Crash here. If you've ever told yourself, I don't have time, or I'm not athletic, or I'll start when life calms down, then you have to be here to hear this story. For those of you guys that don't know me, hello, I'm Chrissy Crash. I'm a roller derby coach. I'm the founder of Crash Course. And today I am bringing you a powerful transformation interview with one of our very own athletes, Leda, aka Quads. And she is a full-time mom raising a sweet little special needs kiddo who is in love with the laundry, which is my favorite story, juggling life and derby and still finding a way to train like an athlete. And so today we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about letting go of perfection. We're going to talk about the difference between discipline and motivation. We'll talk about how 10 to 15 minutes a day can make a massive difference. And then also how Crash Course finally helped her believe in herself as an athlete. And so I love this story because I really feel like Leda's journey is really raw and real and like so inspiring. It was so fun to hang out with you a couple months ago at Skates, Plates, and Weights. So I'm so excited to get into this. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so you said that practicing a positive mindset was just important, if not more important for you than physical training. Can you share what that looks like for you on a day-to-day?
Yeah, I think a lot of derby is a mental game. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, you're seeing all these people with different skill levels out there, and you're like constantly assessing like how do I compete against that?
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily all coming from like the power in your legs or your ability to like hit. A lot of it is first picturing that you can accomplish it and then like going out there and actually doing it and like getting over that fear or like doing it scared and um you know I've always heard before like I started Crash Course that athletics can be as much a mental game as it is a physical game, and it wasn't
Mhm.
until I like started derby and like Crash Course that it's like, oh, what I think before I go out there on the track is like really going to affect what happens on the track as much as like my physical readiness is ever going
Yep.
to do.
100%. We talk about that a lot. You can use your imagination for good, or you can use your imagination for evil. Like we're either visualizing we can do it, or we're visualizing we can't do it. Was there a moment when you really realized, maybe like during Crash Course, when you realized that mindset was like a missing piece in your progress? Did you have some kind of an aha moment, or did something happen, or was it just like a slow realization?
I think it was actually like during the skates, plates, and weights weekend.
Mhm.
I was one of the KCIT, so one of the newbie skaters, like non-vets, if you will. And so I went in with a lot of insecurities, thinking like, oh, I'm like one of the youngest derby players here in terms of experience wise. But then seeing other skaters who are vastly different levels of experience to me, people that I've been watching in the Crash Course community, like posting videos and stuff and looking up to and seeing that they had similar insecurities, even though they've been in the game much longer than me. And they're still going through like all of this mindset coaching and applying it. It's like, oh, okay. So you can have a ton of experience and mindset will still set you back.
Yep.
Um,
Totally. I think there's something sweet about realizing that you're not a unique butterfly, and that like the things that one of us feels are actually the things that like most of us feel. I think that's a magic of being in a community like that.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the things if I'm honest, like I didn't fully appreciate going into Crash Course. You
Mhm.
see a lot of videos talking about like physically training for Derby and getting ready. And then when we started having conversations about actually joining Crash Course, there was the start of the talk of like mindset, and I was like, oh yeah, I got mindset. Like my work does mindset all the stuff all the time, so like I think I understand that. And it wasn't until like I got into Crash Course and saw all the ways the coaches make us practice positive mindset and like
Mhm.
actually seeing it applied on a day-to-day basis where it like really started to click to me
Yeah.
like, wow, this is really going to be an important part of me evolving as an athlete. Because if I go into this and I can train all I want, but if I still don't see myself as an athlete, or I don't think I'm an athlete, I'm never going to really be an athlete.
Right. You just end up going through the motions. And I think a lot of skaters rely on motivation, right? And like you've talked a lot about like kind of like the power of discipline. Like what helped you make that shift from like motivation to discipline?
You know, I think the words motivation and discipline get used interchangeably a lot, but they're not really the same thing. Because before I started Crash Course, I used to think that person that wakes up every day at 5 a.m. and goes to the gym, that's motivation. But it never occurred to me that maybe some days they don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym, but they still do it anyway. That's
Mhm.
discipline. And that's what Crash Course has helped me learn. So, sometimes depending on what's going on in life, you'll be like super motivated and like, yeah, I'm ready to go. And sometimes you're like, oh, I have to work out. And it's the days where you push through that and like still get in your workout. That's the discipline that
Yeah.
I didn't understand before this. And that's what's going to pay off in the long run, because if you don't do that, then you skip one workout and then that leads to skipping two workouts, and then it just kind of spirals, and then it feels impossible to get back in, and that's when it like you kind of fall off the bandwagon.
Yep. And how do you stay consistent even when motivation isn't there, especially with like everything else you have on your plate?
I love how my coach Pia, shout out to Coach Pia. We've built my workout routine, so it's like really nice bite-sized chunks that I can do, like 10 minutes, and I can train like my glutes and legs one day and like my arms another day. And it's like finding like it's really easy to find 10 minutes of your day to just like get this in there, and like learning the tricks of discipline, like
Mm-hmm.
scheduling it in your calendar so it's hard to ignore, and like setting reminders that are constantly dinging at you so you don't forget and let it slip. And sometimes yeah, life gets messy, and something happens with my kiddo, he's sick or something, but I because I have like much more scheduled in my life, I'm like able to find the times to like shift stuff around and make it work.
Yeah. And speaking of messy, so, we've all heard like do it scared is something I think a lot of people talk about, but like doing it messy is such a powerful twist. Like what does that mean to you now?
um yeah, there's always that time in scrimmage where people are like, who wants to be a jammer? And like nobody really wants to be a jammer, because like a lot of people are like, oh no, I'm here for blocking. I'm just gonna do the blocking. And like I'm still, like I said, I'm new, I haven't bounded yet. And we're still like exploring all the different positions. And it's a lot of the time being like, yeah, I have no real idea what to do as a jammer, but I'm gonna go in and do it anyway. And like, what's the worst that can happen? I can
Yeah.
fall, yeah, maybe, or like I won't break through the wall, but it's still practice and it's still teaching me something. And even if it doesn't look great, it's a moment to learn from it. So it's not, waiting to get out there until like you know how to do everything just perfect. It's, just go do it.
Yeah. You have to do it terribly. Like there's no way around doing it terribly. Like we
Yeah.
all start there. Now, how have these mindset shifts, how has the positive thinking, the discipline, embracing the messy, getting into the training, like how has the program like helped you with your game? Because you were a really new skater. I mean, how long had you been in Derby when we started working together?
I think I was just wrapping up my Derby boot camp, which was about 10 weeks. So like
Yeah.
really baby. And I jumped in part because our Derby boot camp was ending, and then like the real season wasn't going to be starting up for like 3 or 4 months. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of time to lose a lot of ground if I
Yeah.
don't start training. So I think I had initially like started seeing your posts and chatting with you at the beginning of Derby Boot Camp, and then when I
Mhm.
realized how much time there was between the end of boot camp and actually like getting regular practice in, yeah, it was about 10 weeks. And I'm still very new. I'm still doing positional scrimmages, and that's okay. I'm learning. I'm getting in the reps at practice to be able to go out there in like full contact scrimmages and bouting. But I think I have like a ton of confidence going in that my team is seeing. After my first scrimmage, a lot of my team members were like, wow, like I would have not known that was like your first time in a scrimmage. And that made me feel really good because, yeah, it's like I am such a so new to it. So to see that, like, even though there was like a huge time between boot camp and when practices started, and there haven't been a ton of practices yet, like I'm already like making myself seen and known within the team. And so I will be ready for like that first bout when it comes.
Amazing.
It's like
And
really exciting.
how is your relationship to your body now? Like, are you feeling more in control? Do you feel like your agility is better, your balance? What were the biggest things you noticed as we started getting you like consistently training?
Um, yeah, derby stance. Oh gosh, when I first started boot camp and like the very first practice within 30 seconds of derby stance, I was like, oh my gosh, my quads, my like calves, like everything was burning. I was like, I'm gonna die. There's no way I'm gonna do this. And so I've noticed a lot of endurance in my muscles and my ability to make it through like whole jams in the scrimmages and in practices, like staying in that low, stable stance. I feel like a lot more aware of what's going on, not only in my own body, but on the track with a lot of the stability exercises that we've been doing and being able to like quickly pivot and adjust to what's happening around me. Um, and I think agility on skates is something that I'm still working on, but I'm putting in the reps and I'm getting more comfortable like picking up my skates. I was very nervous about picking up my skates at speed when I
I
first started Derby
remember.
boot camp, but now I'm getting more comfortable with that. The more on skates practice I have.
Amazing. Amazing. And what would you tell someone who maybe doesn't think they're athletic enough for derby?
um, Yeah, I mean, what is athletic enough anyway? Like it's the same thing as what is normal.
Mm,
I think Derby, the great thing about Derby is that there is no right or wrong body type for derby. Like everyone's unique body type brings a different strength or benefit to their game, and it's all about learning how to like leverage what you have. And the only reason you are not an athlete is because you think you're not. But once you actually start putting in the work and start believing that you're an athlete, you will become one and you'll be surprised at what you're
yeah.
capable of.
I love that saying, like, if you have a body, you're an athlete, you're just either in training or not,
Yeah,
you know?
I love that.
So,
I
what do
hadn't
you
heard that
think?
before, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
so true.
it is. Like anyone, it's just a matter of are we in training or not. Why do you think Crash Course worked for you and other things didn't?
Um, yeah, I think it's the level of support and interaction. I think there's a lot of
Mm,
programs out there where it's like, yeah, you can sign up for this training program and they give you prescribed workouts that you're supposed to follow, but there's not really a lot of accountability there. There's no
yeah.
check-ins. So like, are you actually doing what you say you're doing? No opportunities to practice, but Crash Course is very regimented, and like we have the weekly calls where we're supposed to share, our progress and both like good and bad with our wins and things that we're struggling with. We have the Trainerize app where we can, log our workouts. We have monthly calls with our coaches, and posting on the Facebook group. it really gives you a lot of check-in points to keep you accountable. And that's definitely something I need, because if I'm left to my own devices more often than not, I will be the couch potato. But
Yep.
when there's someone there kind of encouraging me and, you know, helping me along the way, that like helps keep my motivation up.
100%. 100%. And then if someone was on the fence about joining, what would you say to them?
Um, yeah, I think you'd surprise yourself if you gave yourself this chance. It's kind of um, I came in for the workouts and I'm staying for the community and the
Mhm.
support and the person it's making me both on and off the track. Um, you know, you'll be surprised at how much more you'll get out of this program than just learning the right workouts for derby. It's going to change your life. It's going to change how you think. Yeah, if you want to grow as a person, then this course is going to help you do that in spades, I think.
Nice, nice. Well, Leda, thank you so much for sharing your story and what you've learned. Like seriously, this is literally what Crash Course is all about, right? It's like real athletes with real lives that are creating this real change. So thank you for taking the time to do this. I know you were a busy human. Um, and for those of you guys that are watching, if you're like, dude, that's me. I want that kind of progress. I want to feel strong. I want to feel supported. Then it is 100% time to stop waiting and start actually training like the athlete that you already are. Right. And like Leda said, Crash Course isn't like a workout plan. It's like a mindset. It's a strategy. It's support. It's the missing pieces between where you are now and the athlete that you really, really want to be. So if you are ready to stop second guessing and finally get the results that you've already been working so hard for, I will drop a link in the notes that you can click. And what happens is that takes you to a website where there's a video to watch to learn about the program. Then there's a goal sheet to fill out if you want to apply. And then from there, you will book a free 15-minute strategy session where we'll look at your goals and your challenges and even just see if the program's the right fit for you. And then from there, you can be invited to an interview call to apply. But again, I love doing these interviews. I love getting to celebrate people that are on the move. And Leda, I know that you're just in this first year of Derby, and I am so excited to see where you're going to be 1 year, 2 year, 3 years from now, because you're laying the right foundations down right now. So I just want to say congratulations to you. And we're so proud of you, and we're excited to see where you go from here.
I'm excited to see where I go too. There's so much possibility.
Yes, absolutely. All right, my friends. Well, thank you for watching. We'll catch you the next time. And remember, life is a contact sport. We are all here to help each other win. We'll see you later.